Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about how to do a free masters in United States in civil engineering. So number one point is like you have to you have to get the trust of your professor. So basically how to do it, a professor will generally give you a GRA or a GTA to support your education. Your tuition fees will be waived if you get a GRA or a GTA, and you will also on top of that you will get a stipend. So basically you are paid to do your masters. That's what will happen if in case you get a GRA or a GTA position, right, in the university. So for that you need to gain the trust of your professors. So how what you can do to do that we will discuss in this video. That is number one. And the number two is, let's say you are not like an above average student, you do not have such a good profile, but still you want to do your masters for free. How to address that concern? So we will discuss that in the next part of the video. The first half, let's say you are an above average student or you are one of the top students or in the top 30 engineering colleges in India or in somewhere else in the world. Let's say you want to get a GRA or a GTA from a professor, then how you should approach, what should be your strategy? So first your strategy is, let's say you're in the first year of your civil engineering degree undergrad, you should have a mindset that in your second year you will try to work with a professor from your university and try to publish a research paper in a journal or somewhere. Like you have to try to build a research profile. So that is a one sure short way which professors in USA will trust your ability to research, right? So that is number one. So in case, let's say you are able to publish two or three research papers even in just in your undergrad degree, that is a very good profile for to ask for a GRA or a GTA, right? Generally that's good for a GRA, research assistantship. Okay. So number two, let's say which I did, I never published a research paper in my undergrad degree, right? So but still I got a GRA for 2 years in my master's degree in United States. So how you can do that? So what I did is like you have to think little out of the box. You have to kind of gain the courage and email professors outside the country, like outside India, let's say in USA, uh, to give you a internship, to give you an internship in your third year itself. So basically you have to email, maybe you, let's say first you are from some of the top institutes of India, then you need to see which professors are there in USA who were alumni of your institutes. Or let's say if you do not have any alumni, that's still fine, but then you have to just work through the numbers. You have to send an email, you have to build a email first, right? And then send it to like lot of professors. Basically you send it to 1,000 professors in United States, because I know a person who came with me actually to do an internship in my third year. I came to United States to do an internship at that time. He actually sent to 1,200 professors. Out of that, he got one call from a professor to do an internship. And after the internship, the professor also wanted him to do a MS under him, and he will get the full support of the GRA. So you see how it gets built up. First, you have to just get that entry into the door. The professors will call you for the internship. They will see your ability. You have to be very attentive at that time. Just do whatever they ask. Be on time. They will see your academic ability, right? And based on that, they will offer you a GRA ship. And so it starts to, the professor basically will build that connection with you. Like he needs to trust your ability. That is the crux of the matter. So either you can you can go through the numbers, like send it to like 1,000, 1,200 professors and see what happens after that, basically. Or else what which I did, the next part, I actually saw who are the alumni of my institutes in United States, and I only sent to them. And I sent to only three or four people, and I got one internship. And from there I converted into after I completed my masters, I converted it into a GRA shift for 2 years. Basically, yes, he asked me to give GRE and those exams too. So you have to do that, right? That's a process. So you have to have some ability to go to actually get GRA through this process, right? Either you have to publish research papers or you have to get an internship. So some of the professors need to trust you. That's the bottom part. So let's say I know a person also. Let me give this example here, who published two or three research paper in his undergrad years, but he still did not get any GRA shift from a professor. But still, he got an acceptance letter from an university. He went to the university, and there he saw which professors has research projects with them. So you have to be mindful of the fact that I said that you can mail 1200 professors in the initial part, but that's fine. But you also have to see which professors have the research projects. They need people, right? But from India, it's difficult to understand which professors needs has the research projects at hand. But when you come here, you can at least see, right, the professors who are working, who has a good lab, who has more PhD students working under them. So try to connect with the professor through a PhD student, right? Basically, you have to first gain the trust of a PhD guy. He gained the trust of that PhD guy, and the PhD guy told his professor that he found a good student. So that's how it works. So either you can so initially, let's come back to the step one. You send it to 1200 professors, that's fine, but also see the PhD students working under them. Try to connect with them. So because they will be more open to giving you feedbacks. Like, ask them, is there any opening here in this institute under this professor? What kind of work are they doing? So you have a better chance of them responding well than the professor, right? Because the professor gets hundreds of mails. So basically, try to understand the game, how it works. Try to prepare like that. uh, like, right, first is, yes, you it's best if you have a research profile, and if you don't have it, you have to get an internship or gain the trust of the professors. If through a PhD student, that's fine, or however it is, like internship, like that, you have to gain the trust, or through your institute brand name, right? So that's number one. Let's say the professor asks you, okay, if you are a good to research, you have like two, three research publications, so let's join for a PhD. So that is the many professors want you to join their PhD program, because if you do their MS program, you are just in the institute for 2 years, which is a very short amount of time for the professor to invest in you. But what you can say at that time, in case if you are not interested for PhD, it is much more easier to get funding, because otherwise you won't get accepted in the first place, right? So for PhD, professors have to give you fund, but we are talking here, if you want to do an MS and you want to do it for free, like you want to get a GRA or a GTS or something. So let's say a professor says you have a good profile, do go for a PhD, but you are not willing to do so. So you can say that you want to first try this MS because you are interested. Never say that you are not interested. Say that you are interested in a PhD. You have that research interest in you. You have the passion in the subject also. But still, you want to take some time. And still, you want to take the master's route before committing full time to a PhD, so that you get a better flavor of what is lying ahead of you. So PhD is a long game, right? So the professor will also understand, okay, what his mindset is, what he's going thinking, which is quite okay, right? I mean, how can you just commit to a 6 year, 7 years? Because let's say 4 years for your PhD and 2 years for masters. So you cannot commit that long period of time without understanding what is in it for you. Are you really made for research? So you can say that since it's my life decision, I want to go through the master's route. Yes, I have the interest. I will most likely go for the PhD, but let me first get the master's. Let me get the RA for the master's, and then let me decide if I want to take it ahead to a PhD, which most probably I will. So just explain him this. right? Because that's your best choice. Now, let's say you did not get a GRA or a GTA, then what can you do to get a basically to cover all your expenses? How can you cover all your expenses? In that case, what you can do, your only option is the best bet is internship in the second year. Let's say in the summer you can work full time in an intern, like 40 hours you work 40 hours, and then in the fall and the spring you work part time completely. But do not cross 12 months, then your OPT visa will most likely go. So just short of 12 months, work full time the summer, and the next fall and the spring work part time 20 hours. Along with that, you have to take the full course load. But still, that is the best way to actually cover all your expenses. All your master's expenses will get covered. Like at least 90% of your for your expenses will get covered if you can work 1 year full time. So that is what we have for this video today. Hope you guys learned something. In case you find it beneficial, please like and subscribe to our channel. That keeps our motivation level high to make such beneficial content, useful content for you guys. Thank you again. Bye.